I'm presuming a little bit of disdain for actively encourage people to engage in the culture war and the info wars. What do you think about that? Totally randomly. I mean, this whole thing is happening where people are trying to capture your brain and insert narratives into your mind, which literally end up controlling your behavior and changing your life and the life of your children. To what extent should people actively try to participate in that? Or should they try to check out as best as possible, turn off all of that noise, find the right signals?
Mm. Well, I'm gonna have to give you a third option, which you
Please.
you you said, but I want to reinforce it, which
Okay.
is build the new thing.
Build a new thing.
Build the new thing. Like, by the way, it won't necessarily be easy, but do it. So let's see. Yeah. So basic principles. Are you addicted? Many people are addicted to fighting the culture war.
Yeah.
You know, if you're checking Twitter 16 times a day, if you're trolling, you're probably addicted. If you're addicted to something, it's probably not healthy. So stop doing that.
Right.
All right. Vocation. There are some people for whom I'll go with my friend Brett and Heather. You know them, I assume.
Of course.
Weinstein. While I do not believe that Brett is actually currently doing the thing that is his highest possible gift to humanity, it's not bad. It's close. He's fighting the culture war, but he's fighting the culture war from a place of what I would say is vocation. And I think quite deftly. He's holding a very clean place. Hey guys, how about we just tell the truth? How about we just try to see things for what's real and be honest about it? How about that? How about we just do that? I don't want to win, like a little troll war fight. That's definitely not going to get us anywhere. If I can remind people that it is possible for people to see things clearly and be honest about what they perceive and actually make steps forward in us collectively knowing what's happening, that's how you win the culture war. Which is to say that's how you rebuild a new culture that has that at its center.
Mm-hmm. Build the new thing.
For the most part, for most people, turning off is probably the right choice. Which doesn't mean not do things. It means turn your attention to building the new thing. We need a new thing. It's going to take a lot of work. So this is the part that I would say, though. Don't turn off completely. Right? Retreating into the hills of Montana is not a thing. Again, recognize that you are, whether you know other people who are part of this yet or not, if you are becoming sovereign in yourself and you're learning how to listen to whatever you want to call it, the divine, the sacred, nature, reality, and operating according to that ethos, old virtues, wisdom, then you're on the team. Do your part. When you find somebody else who's on the team, nod. Hey, nice to see you. How can I help? Or, hey, here's a responsibility I'd like you to carry because it seems like it's yours and I've been holding it for a while. Share give everybody their proper responsibility as the best possible gift. But recognize we're doing something. We're building something together. We're building a new place. And we're building it's a spiritual kingdom, a kingdom that lives in both simultaneously, the virtual and in this place of ethos, this place where values come from, and manifesting itself in distinct ways in the physical, which will all show up as having at their core things like wholesomeness and commitment to the whole of human life, right, and all the different characteristics of it. Each one like that becomes more and more real, more and more self-sustaining, more and more capable of producing its own generativity and value, but gifting its insights back out, strengthens the whole. And I see this all the time. If you happen to be, finding out a new way to be able to support people creating like tiny home clusters that are easily but stay sustainably off the grid, share that. That's good stuff. And there's good stuff out there, by the way. There's some cool technologies for how to do hydroelectric power. There's cool technologies for how exactly to do wastewater remediation. I just met a guy who's got some really serious technology for microbes that simultaneously can break down organic waste and produce electric power. Pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty cool.
Because again, we're actually at a threshold. of as big an innovation shift as has literally ever happened. And this is happening in real time across many dimensions. Remember, I mentioned that this whole blockchain thing is only like a thin slice of a much larger pie of change. There's a massive shift in capacity, in technological capacity that's happening now. And the more and more that shift can be used to constitute a consciously wholesome new way of humans being humans together, grounded in values and ethos that is stable and maintains integrity. Well, I've said this many times. As far as I can tell, it's yes or no. Like either we collectively pull that off, or the bottom drops out. There's not a lot of future when that technological power is pointed towards destruction, pointed towards the profane, pointed towards degradation and breaking down at the infinitesimal. Like Tristan Harris's point that when you take superhuman AI and you point it at virtual social media, the human mind really is no longer able to defend itself. We're not far from that. So, there's a line being drawn, and we're either on the right side or the wrong side of that. So remember that too. Like take courage in the recognition that your participation in the spiritual kingdom is fundamental. This is it. This is the beginning of the end, and the end of the beginning of any possible future. So it's not just you and your family and your friends. It's actually not just the whole world. It's history. It's the whole human species and the story that we're part of. It's helpful when you've fallen off the wagon and have got back into an addiction and feel defeated, tired, or ashamed, to remember that that's what you're trying to do. It's a big thing. Okay, get back up.